Tender lumplings everywhere. Life's no fun without a good scare.
I can't think of any Bigfoot quotes. Hello everyone, and welcome to day 20 of Terrorthon, Bigfoot. Bigfoot is a universally recognised symbol. He's a cryptid, just like the Loch Ness Monster, La Chupacabra, the Catman of Greenock, but I think Bigfoot might just be the most famous one of all, at least in America. And I think it would be interesting for us to dissect the history of where the idea and the legend of Bigfoot came from, go through some potential sightings of Bigfoot with you, and ultimately try to ascertain the plausibility of such a creature existing. So are you ready? Let's get into it. So the very first mention of Bigfoot was in 1958, when the journalist Andrew Genzoli of the Humboldt Times in California highlighted a letter from a reader that loggers in Northern California had discovered very large footprints. And despite the story supposed to be tongue-in-cheek, it fascinated readers, and the loggers had given the creature the name Bigfoot. 2 words, by the way, not 1. The story then spread to papers all over America, and the TV show Truth or Consequences offered $1,000 to anyone who could prove that Bigfoot existed. And after the story went public, Bigfoot almost immediately became a character in adventure magazines. He was always male, and he was always portrayed as a dangerous creature from the past lurking in the wilderness. By the 1970s, documentaries began to investigate Bigfoot's existence, and there were movies coming out about him as well, which usually portrayed him as a sexual predator of all things. And then by the 1980s, Bigfoot became associated with environmentalism and was a symbol of the wilderness that had to be preserved, just like he was portrayed in the 1987 movie Harry and the Hendersons. But what evidence were people going off that Bigfoot really did exist? There must have been photographs and videos, right? Or something like that, surely. Well, yes, there was. The most famous and influential Bigfoot footage came in 1976 in Northern California, which was known as the Bigfoot Walk. It was very soon parodied by many people, and it was most likely a person in a gorilla suit. We can't prove that for sure one way or the other, but I mean, come on, look at it. Then there was the Marble Mountains footage, wherein a youth group leader known as Jim Mills recorded a strange looking creature for 7 minutes, the longest amount of footage shot of Bigfoot to this date. In 1994, a former US Forest Patrolman known as Paul Freeman recorded a video of a family of Bigfoots, and this video is considered by Bigfoot experts, as they call themselves, to be genuine. And next we had a video known as Independence Day. It showed an adult Bigfoot with a cub walking through the woods. But if you watch this video closely, you can see the possible seam of a gorilla suit. In 2007, a man known as Rick Jacobs captured Bigfoot images with a camera mounted to a tree in the Allegheny National Park in Pennsylvania. And then finally, in October 2012, in Utah, a shaky video was released where a creature would stand up on 2 legs before the cameraman and his friends went running. But let's say for the moment that Bigfoot does not exist despite all this footage. So what could some possible explanations be? Well, if you've ever seen a bear sitting down, and who the hell hasn't, you will note that sometimes they can sit just like humans, and if they're doing that, then they're going to be pushing their paws into the ground to create footprints, giant footprints that might look a little bit like a human's, so it could be that. It could be escaped apes from local zoos or circuses that are running about the woods, could be something like that. Or it could be as simple as humans being mistaken for Bigfoot, and this does happen. Like when in 2013, a 21-year-old Oklahoma man shot his friend dead while he was hunting for Bigfoot. Insanity. And of course, it could just simply be hoaxes, people messing around, trying to get their 15 minutes of fame, running around in gorilla costumes. Entirely possible. Whether or not you believe Bigfoot to be real, there is no denying that he has become a cultural icon, especially in America and for environmentalism, and he holds a very important place in history, not just horror history, but history in general. So if there's any message to be taken from this video, save the trees, man. Save the trees. See you tomorrow.